everybody, this is Pastor Charlie. I'm so glad that you are a part of this prayer journey with me over these next few weeks and with Pastor Drew and Carrie and Alice as we all lead you through these devotions day and daily as part of our Growing Deeper, Reaching Higher campaign. You know, I said on Sunday in my sermon that, of course, a campaign like this is about dollars and cents and targets and projects and finish lines, but more than anything else, this is a spiritual journey that we are on, in which we are all learning about stewardship, and we are all hopefully praying that simple prayer, God, what would you like to do through me? And as we pray that prayer today and every day, my hope is that we do it with our ears and our hearts open, so that when God does respond and calls us, that we will give a healthy yes to God. So today's reading is from Proverbs, chapter 11, verses 24 and 25, and it reads a little bit like this. Some give freely, yet grow all the richer. Others withhold what is due and only suffer want. A generous person will be enriched, and the one who gives water will get water. You know, I read the opening line of that 25th verse, that the one who is generous will be enriched. And I think to myself, gosh, there's a danger that I could read that and become sort of convinced that the whole prosperity theology, that when I give, I only get richer, that comes through with those words. But I'm not quite sure that the writer of this proverb was actually talking about our own personal riches whenever he uses that word enriched. I think that the leading of this text is to say that when we are generous, we're not generous because our bank accounts will get bigger as a result by some kind of spiritual magic that happens. Instead, what it's saying is that when we are generous, when we give to join in with the work of God, our hearts will be enriched. Our hearts will be at peace. When Margaret and I first moved to America back in 2003, we were moving so that I could take up position as a youth director at First United Methodist Church in Port St. Lucie. Now, if you don't know what youth directors earn, then let me tell you, it's not an awful lot. And at that time, Margaret was not allowed to work. There was a visa restriction on the visa on which we had traveled to the United States with. And so we kept to that fairly strictly, and I had my one income. We lived in a church parsonage, and things were okay, but we made a conscious decision at that time that with the salary that I did earn from the church, we would tithe it. And we would start a journey of tithing in our lives and trying our best to be generous with the little bit that we had. Do you know, over the 3 years that we lived there, our experience was simple. We were never rich. We never made a fortune, of course, but we always had enough. And our hearts were happy and our hearts were healthy. And I would say, using the language of the writer of the proverb that we just read, our hearts were enriched. There is a connection between faith and generosity in our lives. When I say that I believe in the gospel and its value and the good news and the richness of that good news, it leads me to be generous, not just with my words and sentiments, but with my resources too, with my time, with my talents, and yes, with my treasure. I hope you can draw the line of connection between your faith and the lifestyle of generosity that we're called to, because our generosity makes a difference. Not just here in our church with projects that we hope to move forward with, but also in our community as we share the resources that we pool together here with organizations that are doing great work and changing the lives of people significantly in our community. So today, I encourage you to take a few moments after this video and to stop and to sit silently with that prayer. God, what would you like to do through me? Take care.